My fellow whites, let's raise a glass to this pyramid of money built upon our favorite pastime. F***ing the poor!
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and DC has been quietly trying to build up a collection via their exclusive app, which is $8 a month, and they rolled out the much anticipated Harley Quinn series, which, according to many in woke media, will be taking aim at comic book misogyny, and it's a total blast. Now, I registered for DC's app because part of what I want to do going forward in 2020 is make sure that I consume the media that I'm critiquing. Now, that will be a change for me, given, I've said, hey, I'm not going to go see this, or I'm not going to buy this video game. I think for credibility's sake, I should be watching these shows, and I should be consuming these video games that I'm critiquing. I think that's just about authenticity, and that's the right thing. So going forward in 2020, I'm going to be seeing a lot of bad movies, buying a lot of bad video games, but I think just that's the right thing to do. Within the first 10 seconds of this show, now I wish I could show you a clip, but I'm nervous about it getting claimed. You're going to have to take my word for it. I tweeted out a clip of it last night. It shows Joker disguised talking to several other rich white people, and he literally starts out by saying, I think the first line of dialogue in the entire show is, "Hello, my fellow whites." And then he's sitting in front of a pile of money, and he's going on about how did he get that? We got our money doing the best, our favorite thing, screwing over the poor. And then a few minutes later, he rips off his human mask, reveals that he's actually the Joker. And this clip, out of context, is extremely cringy. It's extremely woke. And it's just odd to see DC take what was otherwise just in general a cringy, unfunny show and make it detestable. I think that there's a lot of criticisms that I can levy towards the show. Let's say, for one, they made it rated R. Congratulations. It's not a marketing technique. I counted the curse words in the episode, and there were about 40. That is more than one per minute. I get it. It's R-rated, but it's just weird to hear Harley Quinn dropping F-bombs every literal 30 seconds. And a lot of it is really forced and bizarre. And there's a lot of woke moments in the show. For example, Joker is basically the worst boyfriend imaginable. I'm not surprised by that. And then Poison Ivy's in the show, and she plays kind of Harley's bestie, who's constantly trying to get her to understand how bad Joker is. Now, obviously, Joker is literally bad in the show. She gets taken into custody by Batman, and she's sure Joker's going to come, or that Joker's going to come and spring her. 6 months passes, no Joker. 9 months passes, no Joker. 12 months passes. Finally, Poison Ivy breaks her out, tries to break her from Joker's spell, essentially, and it takes a random kind of weird setup between Poison Ivy and Riddler to get Harley Quinn to finally forage out on her own. There's a lot in the show, like Commissioner Gordon is basically like a crazy person. He's essentially comedic relief. The women are really, really strong, but it's a cartoon. So again, people that will disingenuously maybe look at the title of this video and say he just hates it because woman. No. The opening line, I'll actually show you. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to risk it because I think that it's hard to imagine. Like, it's hard for people to believe that that's what's happening. But here you come in. There's no audio.
Let's raise a glass to this pyramid of money.
Here you go. Ready?
My fellow whites.
My fellow
Let's raise
whites.
a glass to this pyramid of money, the foundation of which was built upon our
Favorite thing.
pastime.
Yeah.
Fucking the poor.
Ha 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 ha. Now, you could be saying that maybe these people exist. It's possible. But you can see a lot of people thought, like, there's no way this could be real, but it is in fact very real. And so when you take into account some of the quotes of the creators, you start to remove a little bit of the benefit of the doubt that you're giving. There's lines where Joker literally says, ha ha ha, women aren't funny. The other white guys on the yacht there literally says, it's so on the nose, it's like written for low IQ people. Like, don't tell me this is for kids. It's not for kids. It's for, like, I don't know, millennials. There's a line on the boat that the guys reply, ha ha ha, we're not afraid of a girl. You're Joker's girlfriend. To which then she completely destroys all of them in physical combat, which is, of course, I'll suspend belief. It's obviously a cartoon, but it's just weird to see somebody that probably weighs 105 pounds at the end of the episode take on over 30 henchmen and physically overcome every single one of them. There's also a scene where Harley Quinn is in Arkham, and she handles 5 or 6 guards just punching and kicking, not, using any special powers. Harley Quinn is not some sort of ninja warrior, and it's just a weird thing. But again, fine, it's a cartoon. I'm not going to get hurt over it. I'm not upset about it. The women power, the woman power, is over the top, but maybe that's who this cartoon is for. I mean, when you start off by saying, ha 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 ha, fellow whites, I don't get it. I mean, it's a caricature, obviously, and yes, you can have villains who are white, obviously. Out of context, it looks pretty bad, but in context of who the writers are and the media that's surrounding this episode, it's hard to give it the benefit of the doubt. DC Universe has informed critics they're free to spoil Harley Quinn, but in any discussion of the streaming service's latest plot points aren't nearly as important as the issue of tone. Premiering November 29th, the animated series is awash in gruesome violence, self-referential pop culture, shouting out humor, all of it employed in service of playful critique of toxic masculinity and a celebration of female independence and friendship. I suppose that it is kind of like that. It seems odd that it always has to be at the expense of men. When you celebrate men's friendships, let's say the movie Tombstone, the bond that two men can have, how strong it can be, how it's forged over time, how it's earned. At no point is any of that at the expense of women. But Harley Quinn, it's just that. It's literally exactly that. We couldn't possibly be friends if we weren't teaming up against our enemy, men. Plus, there's MFing avalanche of irreverent R-rated profanity. Yeah, I guess if I was 13, I think it was cool. To me, it slows down the dialogue. It's cringy and forced at times. Sometimes it fits. But then there's jokes like Harley Quinn says not once but twice in a short episode, referring to Batman as effing bats, like sensually in the same bed with them. Like, that's not even a good joke. And it's made twice as an excuse to drop the F word, I imagine. Created by Justin Halpern, Patrick Schumacher, and Dean Lorey, 3 men, Harley Quinn is not your father's Batman the Animated Series. Oh yeah, it's far worse. Or for that matter, your own Suicide Squad, a 2016 film that launched Quinn into mainstream prominence. That's a lie. Harley Quinn has always been popular. Margot Robbie will return for a far more girl power energized form in next year's sequel, Birds of Prey. By the way, prediction, Birds of Prey will have somewhere around a 60% Rotten Tomatoes score and a 40% audience score. Mark it down. But she'll be hard-pressed to outdo the cartoon version of the character presented in this 13-episode small-screen effort, which uses Quinn's twisted personal and relationship hang-ups as a springboard for rollicking, adult-orientated saga about sinister sisters doing it for themselves and also for the devoted comrades by their side. Now, if I take, let's say the show didn't start off with kind of that cringy throwaway line, I would say this show is actually fine. It's clearly a girl power show, which is fine. Just not for me. Not everything's for everyone. But the writing is really bizarre. There are a few funny jokes. There's references to like watching a Reese Witherspoon movie, and Joker likes Reese Witherspoon. If I could sum up the comedy, it's very similar to today's comic books. The kind of lol, so random, like, haha, oh, they said Reese Witherspoon, lol, haha, it's a talking plant who ate people, haha, so random. Like, and there's lots of cuts and quick talking. It's the Joker, who's Harley's right-hand man on the outside of Harley Quinn, although he sees things differently, viewing Harley, Kaylee Kuko, as little more than a sidekick. Well, she is a sidekick, and thus useful only insofar as she suits his nefarious needs. Even the wealthy cretins whom Harley besieges during the premiere's opening scene consider her merely Joker's girlfriend, as I pointed out. To which the clown-suited femme fatale, establishing the Enterprise's dominant potty-mouth attitude, replies, "Are you all going to shut the F up so I can talk?" That's the kind of like dialogue you get in this show. Talk Harley does in great streams of expletives delivered in a baby doll voice. That's equal parts spicy, juvenile, pouty, and enraged. Kuko's vocal work is top-notch. Yeah, it's okay. It's actually okay, I would say. Imbuing Harley with mischievous viciousness and wit. The latter typified by her habit of telling Batman that he bangs bats. Again, that's just dumb. It's not good writing. Moreover, she breathes Harley into a three-dimensional life by revealing a more vulnerable, damaged, and insecure side of the villain, whose world is upended after the Joker ditches her so she can get thrown into Arkham Asylum. Harley may still be, well, we'll go on to that. We don't need to read this whole thing, but you get the idea. While male misbehavior toward women is a running thread in Harley Quinn, that feminist streak never comes across as preachy. On the contrary, it feels directly attuned to the superficial, titillating, unequal ways in which comics have traditionally treated female heroes and villains. The constant gruesomeness and vulgarity are marked by one-liners about men's creepy packages and other assorted dirty topics is part and parcel of the show's interest in leveling the gender playing field, and in ridiculing repellent male objectification and marginalization of women. See, I don't understand why these writers can't just write good characters who stand on their own. It's as if to say, the only way you can make a strong female character is to show her overcoming a man. I mean, Wonder Woman felt like she earned it. If you look at the movie, the entire series of Aliens, you never thought Ridley was gonna, not earn it. She wasn't overcoming oppression constantly. But that's what this writing is. It's really low IQ. And it's like, they get so obsessed. They get this strong female character and they have to turn it into this like preaching moment. Like, oh, we can't just have Harley Quinn. It's got to be taking on toxic masculinity. We can like Ewan McGregor with Birds of Prey. It's a feminist film that explores misogyny. Why? Why can't Harley Quinn just be Harley Quinn? Why does it always have to be teaching men lessons? This is part and parcel for dividing your audience. If you didn't tell the people that are willing to pay you money that they're awful, then maybe they'd actually go see your movies. But instead you rely on curse words and you worry about the limit of times that you can say it in your cartoon targeted towards, 23-year-old people who still live at home. I'm not sure who this show's for. Yeah, if you like it, great, good for you. It's not for me. It's just another woke culture ruining what could have otherwise been a probably decent show. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.